Day number 20 of the Daily Journal video series. Everyone, welcome back. My name is Hervin, and this is the Daily Journal video series where I am sharing lessons, documenting lessons, business lessons, life lessons that I learned from trying to scale our own business, from books that I'm reading or listening to, share anything cool. Sometimes there's practical lessons that you can take and implement. Sometimes it's just a little bit of philosophy or thoughts and that I have been thinking about throughout the day. And so I just want to have this as an open daily journal that I share here publicly as a way to document my journey. I think it's really cool to be developing a personal brand. If you're watching this, I want to challenge you to do the same thing, to start creating content, because having a personal brand, being here on YouTube or on podcasts is extremely valuable for you as a person. I think this is where the world is going. Everybody's going to need to have their own personal brand. So again, I want to challenge you to make content every day. These videos right now, they're not getting many views. And so I'm still showing up with excitement because I want to put it out there in the world for people to see that you don't need to, that it doesn't matter if you start out without any followers whatsoever. You still got to give it your best, and hopefully at some point, people will come. And anyway, just wanted to come in today and share what I've been thinking about. So the first thing I want to document here and I want to share are some thoughts that I've been having on sales. So today I took a few sales calls and a few clients signed up for our company, which is for our service, which is amazing. It's always super exciting to get a new client to sign up with us and it's super excited to help them get really good results. And so my thought here on sales, and sales is something that I have been trying to work on for the past 3-4 years. I've been trying to improve my sales skills. Excuse me, I've read so many, I've not so many, not like I've read thousands of books, but I've read 10 books on sales. I've watched a ton of sales videos. I've role played. I've done a lot of sales already in this past 3-4 years. And what I come to realize now is how important I think sales is a super, super useful skill, and you definitely need to learn it, especially if you're a business owner and you're starting your own business. You need to learn how to sell. It's an invaluable skill that is going to keep giving you a return on your investment for having learned it. So extremely invaluable skill. But I've been noticing on my sales calls that there are times in which a sale is super easy, even if I'm not the best that day at the sales call. Or sometimes even doesn't matter if I'm saying the best thing and I have the right tonality and I ask the right questions and I check all the boxes and do everything perfectly. The person still doesn't buy. And so just coming here to realize the most important things in sales. So when it comes to sales, these are the thoughts that I've been thinking about. Is the person buying, it's literally the most important thing. Let me explain here my train of thought. So I like to think in terms of what has the highest leverage. So in sales, the thing with the highest leverage is the person. So if you have a person who is in pain and has a problem that they feel really deeply and they want to solve that problem, they're motivated to solve that problem, you could have a really mediocre product, you could have a bad product at that, you could have the worst sales pitch, but you could just say to this person, hey, I have the solution, do you want to buy it? And if it's painful enough, they're going to say yes. So the person, and this reminds me, I think I heard Alex Hormozi say this, also might have been Dan Kennedy, who says when it comes to selling hot dogs, it doesn't matter whether you have the best quality ingredients or you have the cheapest prices. If you're not in the right place, you're not going to sell as many hot dogs as if you have you could have the worst quality ingredients with the highest prices, but if you put your hot dog cart in front of a starving crowd, right? If you put your hot dog cart in front of a nightclub at like 2 in the morning, you're gonna sell out your hot dogs, right? And so the person having a hungry crowd, having a person in front of you who has a problem that they would want to solve, and it's painful and they feel it and they can afford it, that's probably like the highest leverage thing. And so you could have a business that if you find somebody that you can solve a really painful problem for them, your solution doesn't even have to be that good. I mean, you definitely want to make it really good, but you can get away with not you don't have to be like the best salesperson. You don't have to have the best product. As long as you have somebody in front of you who like has the pain and they want to solve this problem and you could solve it for them, that's it. Like that's all it takes. And so that's the first thing. The next thing that I wrote is the trust is more important than your offer. So if it doesn't matter if you have an amazing offer, if people don't trust you, then it's not going to work as much. So or it isn't going to work as well. So you could have an amazing offer, but if people think that you're a scammer, then you're not going to sell anything. And so being able to trust is really important, which is why I'm dedicating myself to creating content here every day, because I think overall this increases the trust factor in people. If they see your content and they've been following you for a while, they have a lot of trust in you, as opposed to if they don't know you exist and they don't know you at all and they don't like you, they're not going to trust you. And so trust is something that is super important. Again, a high leverage thing, which is, again, why I'm coming here every day and why I challenge you as the viewer to create content yourself. Then from there is the offer. So having, in the words of Alex Hormozi, having an offer that is so good that people feel dumb saying no. And so you want to have an offer that's amazing. You want to have an offer that is so good people feel dumb saying no. And so that's, I think, the super high leverage if you can create offers that are really good, and then you can fulfill on them. That's a really high skill. So whenever you're selling somebody, if you have somebody who's ready to buy, who's like really hungry and has a pain point and they have the ability to pay, and then they have trust in you, and you have a great offer, that usually does the sale right there. And then your sales skills don't even matter that much. I've had people that come in, they've heard about us from their friends, and we have a good offer, and the people they're in pain, and they know that we can solve their problem, and they have the money to do it. It's usually like an extremely super easy sale, and it has nothing to do with my sales skills. The only thing at that point that I need to do is like not mess it up, but anyway. So having an offer is really important. And then it comes to like, once you have an offer, so sales skills start to matter more if you have somebody who's hungry or who's in pain and they can afford it, they can afford a solution, to buy a solution, they have trust in you, your offer is good. At this point, like, your sales skills don't matter so much. Now, if your offer is not the best, then your skill set in sales starts to matter. So your skills, what I have found in terms of the actual skill of sales, is that, in the past I used to think like sales is like how slick you are with your words. Like if you know the exact thing to say at the right time, or if you have like the like 10 closest memorized, and you know how to close somebody, you have that like Grant Cardone 100 or whatever closer survival guide. That book, I read it and I used it and it works. You have these closes that are memorized, but it worked it depends on what kind of sale you're doing. If it's like a low ticket thing, it works. If it's like a higher ticket thing, it doesn't work. But in any case, you know, I used to think it's like how hard you're able to push and like this, like how your charisma and then like your ability to be slick with words. I thought that that's like sales. And in reality, I'm finding out more that sales is more the ability to get somebody to sell themselves, which you do by the questions and the labels that you use. So the questions that you use and that the questions you ask in the sales calls that gets them to talk about their pain points, that get them to talk about why they need to change and why they need to join your service. If you can get them to do that with questions, that right there, so that is, in my opinion, that's like really good sales, or the really good sales skills is the ability to ask the right questions, or label them with the problems, and then use kind of like the Chris Voss never split the difference technique. Excuse me, never split the different techniques, that where you're labeling, you're mirroring, and then you're getting the other person to essentially sell themselves on your product. That's really good, as opposed to like you shoving down somebody's throat why they need your product. And yeah, so the questions you ask, the labels you use, those are more important than your ability to like have like the sickest clothes or something like that. And then your conviction matters more than those having the right script. So you could have a script that is like perfect, but if you don't have any conviction, that is not gonna it's not gonna work, right? So if people feel like you don't believe in what you're selling, it's not gonna work. And so anyway, I just wanted to document these are some thoughts that I've had around sales, and so practically speaking, what I just said here, the way I am thinking to practically apply this is like being able to filter so that I talk to the people who are in pain, who can't afford to sign up, being able to create trust in the people that I'm selling to by sharing with them content, making videos that are useful, like providing value to them ahead of time before they jump on the sales call, so that way they have trust, and having an offer that is really good, continuously keep making our offer better and better. So those are things that I'm thinking about in order to be more successful at sales. I thought that it was going to be a matter of like, the amount of sales that you have is based on like your skill sets, and it's your sales skills has a lot to do with how many sales you make, but not as much as you would think. It's all the other factors that I just talked about are more important. And so anyway, so that's point number one, the thoughts that I've been having around sales. The next thing I want to talk about right here is this question that I asked myself, which is like, what is my ideal life? And so many people never ask themselves that question. Never ask themselves, what would I want to do in the perfect world? What if money wasn't an issue? What would I be doing with my time? What do I want to do? I've always asked myself that question, and I try to do that, frequently, like every month or something like that, or even soon. Like sometimes I get in a place where I'm asking that myself every day or once a week or something like that. But just every day thinking about, where do you want to be? What is your ideal life going to look like, so that you know what you're working towards? Because so many people just walk around in life just sort of meandering about and just kind of like wherever the wind takes them, and they don't have a goal. They don't have anything clear in their minds as to what they're working towards. And even if your goal in life is to be able to just live in the moment and not have a goal, like that is a goal. for me, for example, one of my goals is to be at a place where my calendar is empty. Like I want to have an empty calendar. One of my goals is to be able to work on things that I only want to work. So it's not like to never work again. In fact, the stuff that I enjoy working on, I really enjoy working on. So I want to do more of that and less of the things that I don't want to work in. And so being able to put down what you want to achieve in your life. So for me, I'll read you some of mine. So I would love to, in my ideal life, and this is as of today, I would love to be publishing more YouTube content like this, or content in general, not just on YouTube, but like podcast videos, or maybe repurposing these videos into all different mediums. I would love to be collaborating with other creators and putting out their content that is useful, that is practical for other people to help them. I think going through my journey, what I'm doing right now, which is sharing the lessons that I'm learning as I go through my journey, is one of the things that gives me the most meaning in my life. Being able to share and educate, and right now it's more like documenting rather than teaching, just because I want to go through the journey and I'm just sharing as I'm learning. But yeah, I think it's something really cool to do, and I want to do more of that. Having a business, getting our business to the point where it runs on its own and it grows on its own is another one of my business. I mean, one of my goals in my ideal life is having a business there. I enjoy having a team. I enjoy having a business, and solving kind of like the puzzles that, or yeah, the puzzles, solving the problems of the business, like where you solve problems that are tailored to your strengths, and that you feel like you're the only person who can solve these problems. So something like that, like being in a place where your skill set matches the things that you're working on, and it challenges you, but you grow and you learn. That's what our business right now is for me, is a place where I come in and every day I'm stretched a little bit more. I'm facing new problems and I'm like having to work on solving these things. That's something really cool. And when you end up solving a problem and it works, it's awesome. And so that's really something that I enjoy doing. And I also think like having a business that impacts people is, again, it's something that I think is meaningful, something that impacts people, something that provides for the people working in it. So if the employees working in the business, they can grow themselves, they can provide for their families, that's something meaningful to me. And so, yeah, I really enjoy that as well, where the creativity of the business and the product of the business, the fact that the business generates money and that is able to afford people their livelihood, and that is able to afford people give people the opportunity so that they can grow themselves, it's super meaningful to me. Not having an empty calendar, not having to take meetings or anything that I don't want to do, and then obviously like some like hiking vacations, and that is in my ideal life. So just those are things that I want to share here, and I challenge you, if you haven't taken a look at like what does it for you, what do you like do it as an exercise. Like where do you want to be, what do you want to achieve, what do you want to do, just as a challenge. Pause this video and just think about it for a while, write down, take some notes on journal. Yeah, so those are things that I've been thinking about, is what is my ideal life, thoughts on sales. Right now, the business is growing. It's slowly growing. We still need to build our foundations. Today I've been thinking about how to, like I shared yesterday, how do I make our business easy? And it's harder than I thought. It's harder than I thought. I mean, our biggest problem right now is support. I was looking at it, and there's kind of like, I don't know. Right now, it feels like there's like 200 categories of questions that people can ask, and I don't even know how to simplify that and make that easy. So that'll be the next challenge that we're going to be working on. Hopefully, at some point, we'll make it easy, but it does not feel easy right now. And overall, the days feel like they're going by so fast. Every day we wake up, work, eat, work, gym, work, sleep, repeat. So, yeah, I hope that we get to a point where the foundations of the business are established so that we can start moving faster and we can start delegating a lot more. And I hope that we hire somebody soon. We've just a quick update on hiring. We have had people turn their assessment to us. So everybody that went through the first interview phase of like the group interview, after that, anybody who passed, we sent them an assessment, and we've been getting some of those back. And we have 2 people that were good, and then we had others that weren't that great. Sadly, we had really good people that did bad on the assessment. And so anyway, hopefully we get some good people, some people turning in like really good assessments moving forward. I'm looking forward to hiring and getting the help that we need. Anyway, those are all the thoughts for today. It is 10:35 p.m., a little bit earlier than the 11 p.m. that where I've been filming. So excited about going to sleep a little bit earlier. I will see you all tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Bye.